Recently, the subject of time has come up a lot. Notwithstanding my recent post on temporal markers, time is getting to be a hot topic. I shared an article about Einstein's box universe model and the simultaneity of past, present, and future on Facebook. Some comments there sparked some comments by me on the nature of time and our ability to see into it. What follows is an unraveling of those thoughts. I still operate in a linear mode, though my understanding becomes more fluid by the minute. I think you know what I mean. Once the dam breaks, the river runs wild. More thoughts follow in a furious rush of divine mind elaborating itself. Coincidentally, another thread wove itself into the moment, the fact that it was the night of Mahashivaratri, and I was looking forward to chanting and meditating at an auspicious moment, a rare treat for me these busy days. It is the maddeningly poignant irony that moments of clarity characterize themselves by forcing the simultaneous entertainment of seemingly polar opposite points of view. I suppose that's really the only way out of this world of duality, though, so I go with it. I have little choice if I'm honest, as I have long ago surrendered to the whimsical play of divine mind at work. See, even there, play and work, polarity strikes again. On with the show. As an exercise in itself, looking through time's corridors is an odd one. It scratches that irritating point just out of reach, like the spot between your shoulder blades, where you can't quite satisfy a feeling of wanting so badly to know what's coming, just so you can relax. I'm not one to give you such satisfaction in terms of hard and fast dates, though I will scratch your back by providing the same insights I'm afforded by these extra-temporal guides of ours. It is healthier to my mind and more sane than chasing around a flea. We're dealing with dimensions here, and that in itself demands some expansion of mind. The above-mentioned article states, as explained by MIT professor of philosophy, not physics, Dr. Bradford Scow, if we look down on the universe as if we were looking at a piece of paper, we would see time spanning all directions, exactly the same way we see space at some point. Okay, now that you're comfortably situated outside of the 3D world of point, line, plane, solid, you're a bit more free to bend your mind around time. This is something we all need to get more accustomed to if we are truly to prepare to come into some form of meaningful contact with time travelers outside of film, literature, or theory. It shouldn't hurt, though it could bring on a headache if you think about it too much. Take it easy. If you get frustrated at missed dates and sloppy prophecy, think about dimension and density. Consider how light bends as it passes through the medium of water in a glass, how a straw in that water appears to bend. You can't triangulate where you'd pick up the straw where it is in the water using the same coordinate system you use outside of it where you are. You have to factor in some fancy optical formulae to get there. Expand the scenario from your kitchen table to the vast mysteries of space, and you see how celestial physics has to come into play, at the very least. It's helpful in such cases to have a professor of philosophy along to help bend understanding into a more manageable form. Closer to home, check out some great messages on time from the Pleiadians in the Time Transformers collection, linked below. When you think about it, we really can't pinpoint at all what time is. We dance around a solid understanding by talking about what we do with it, how it moves, etc. Our grasp is so slippery. Time flies, it drags, it stands still. We kill it, waste it, save it, lose it. It's a river, money, an arrow, a gift. William Carlos Williams wrote, "Time is a storm in which we are all lost. Only inside the convolutions of the storm itself shall we find our directions." Is it linear, cyclical, a vacuum, an illusion? It is intangible, yet also the arbiter of perspective. It is a means of measure, yet moving itself, it is relative to everything. It is eternal, and as the Pleiadian renegades have said in so many clever and eloquent ways, there is only now. Perhaps the only thing to do is to focus on what's happening and do what you can to make every day, every minute count. This seems a most excellent way to mark time. Fixating on dates can lead to laxity, dependency, or an abnegation of empowered free will freewheeling like the magnificent beings we are. We're super conditioned to focus on dates due, and dates past their prime. We get high on expectations and suffer wracking withdrawal when disappointment slams us in the face the morning after. There are plenty who feast on this human frailty in the absence of universal self-determination. We all have psychic abilities, as the psyche is part of our human makeup, so don't get bamboozled. Be clear and in touch with your own inner antenna. Exercise it, and enjoy the thrill of not knowing. This comes from a self-professed know-it-all, for what that's worth. And because calendars are our own invention, I give little heed to the self-contained import of dates like 11/11 or 2/2/2020. They may be numerical curiosities, useful for collecting intention and focusing attention. But other than that, I don't imbue them with any magical powers. It's we who make them special. Collective observance, like ritual, can serve to open specific agreed-upon meeting places in time to those inherent energies of heart and mind with integrated power to shift the current, at least for a while. True for any human endeavor that seeks to tap into the meta, the beyond of divine experience. True for solitary endeavor as much as it is for physical gatherings to set intention, shift reality, or jump timelines. Meanwhile, destiny follows its flow. It's as if it has a mind of its own or something. This is a fundamental thread in my book, Remembrance, Pleiadian Messages for Preparing for Contact. I offer that here as a saint counterpoint to the nebulous arena of magic making incongruent with active participation in reality making. It's a good read, especially for these times, and can go a long way in getting psyched up rather than psyched out. There's literally a world of difference. I'll address the significance of numbers in a separate post sometime, perhaps. All in all, I don't see it as particularly helpful to have such specificity about future events. Speculation belongs to you and should not be given altogether to someone else to determine for you. Make your decisions, mistakes, attempts. Advice and counsel is great, but creating your life is for you to do, your divine duty to fulfill, to honor your soul and source. Is it more fun to experience what's coming next, or know in advance for sure? Anyway, you can't really know until you get there if you want to define your own experience for yourself. Seeing might be believing, but experiencing is knowing. Watching temporal markers can be a collective exercise in finding a common harmonic, with the caveat that some things might skip a year or a decade or follow some other permutation of possibility. It doesn't take long to find inconsistencies, missed dates. Use discernment and intuition, then play as you like. It can be a fun game if you don't get suckered into anything wayward. Pay attention to your own life's happenings and weigh in with that when you read anything to do with hard and fast dates. Even astrological markers are just that, markers, when you get down to it. That said, as I shared in my last post, I've had staggeringly accurate dates given to me, but those have been strictly about personal things I needed to be spiffed up and prepped for. The greater destiny is a collective manifestation of intent, so like it or not, we're going to have to work together on making it happen. I suggest taking a look at the longer shadows of history in balance with the brilliant potential of what lay ahead. That said, I'm going to offer you some transformational reading in the form of some messages that have come through from specifically Asket and Semyaze. These are found on the Time Transformers to Maryann Transmissions blog, which is on Ninth Path. A few highlights from there regarding time are the following. Big change in time. Lock was broken on the time machine, now is here. Making time for yourself. New words from an old friend, temporally speaking. Pleiadians, now you are called. Time is beckoning. Meet us again. These are just a few of all of the wonderful messages that they've offered that are gathered there. And you can find the link down below at nightspath.com. My latest post laid out many years' worth of Pleiadian prophecy, gathered in notebooks and saved up for the time of telling. You can find that article here, linked below, along with a handy downloadable list of the major points of interest along the way on this journey toward destiny.